But we kind of talked about it already. But you were drafted out of high school. First of all, what was that feeling like? To be from Ohio and get drafted by the Reds out of high school.
It's still like unreal. Like when I got the call, I was just like, "Are you for real right now? Like you really calling me?"
Welcome to another episode of the Amateurs of Bryson Jr. Real stories, real situations, real talk. Today we have our first baseball guest, trying to expand every sport, help every athlete. Roosevelt Barnes might be my long lost cousin. Who knows? Ohio native, was drafted out of high school to play for the Cincinnati Reds, but instead chose to play at the illustrious Morehouse College. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. Just got on working out not too long ago, so I'm just relaxing for the rest of the day.
Love it. Love it. Are y'all still in the semester, or y'all finished for the semester?
We finished about 2 weeks ago, so I'm just getting ready for the season now.
Definitely. When does that start?
We go back January 4th, but I'm heading back down in a second just to get settled and stuff.
Gotcha. That makes sense. What are your off season workouts look like right now?
So right now I'm going like twice a day. I normally alternate days. So like today I worked out in the morning, and then so it's a Wednesday, so I'll just stretch today. I don't do twice a day, but normally it's in the morning I'll work out, and then I'll hit or do some type of like baseball activity in the afternoon, and then like the following day I'll switch it. So like Tuesdays and Thursdays I'll hit first, and then Mondays, Fridays I'll work out first, and then on the weekends I just get a little run in just to stay loose.
Gotcha. I mean, our listeners don't know. A lot of people don't know, but I was nice back in the day in Little League. I made the regional championship, lead off. You feel me? I had a little speed on me, but it's dope to have you on, man. So we had this game on our show called the 1 minute warm up. It's basically a chance for the listeners to get to know you a little bit better. I have 10 questions. I'm gonna bring up a timer. Bring it up now. Giving you a minute to answer these questions. You get one skip.
All right.
All right, bet. On the first question, favorite music artist?
Anderson .Paak.
Anderson .Paak. Sport that you least talented in?
Basketball.
Favorite athlete of all time?
Ken Griffey Jr.
What would you be doing right now if you weren't an athlete?
Playing Call of Duty.
What's one thing outside of sports that you enjoy doing?
I really like watching anime.
Okay. Favorite sports memory?
I hit a home run in the regional championships for RBI, and we ended up advancing to the World Series.
That's dope. Dream school growing up?
Michigan.
Favorite place to visit?
California. LA, to be exact.
LA. Favorite food?
Oxtails.
Okay. Hidden talent?
Skip.
I mean, you got through them all, though. But no, you said LA. That's Jaren's favorite spot too. He just came there not too long ago. What about LA?
So my freshman year, after this semester, I got a chance to play out there for a collegiate team, and it's like the closest thing to like a truly professional like experience that I like really had. Like vigorous schedule, and like my only responsibility was to play baseball. So like we had off days. I got to like go around California. LA. And I really fell in love with it. Only thing about it, well, I'm not going anytime soon. It's a little expensive to live there, but maybe retirement or something like that.
Definitely. The weather's definitely perfect for baseball. So.
Yeah, we didn't have one rain out, not a single one.
All right, man. Let's get into it. Who put the baseball in your hands, and where did your love for the game originate from?
My pops, he first introduced me to baseball when I was like 4. He played like his entire life, played at UC, and then like just growing up around baseball, he always used to take me to like he used to play like in a men's league. I always used to go there. I was like the bat boy hanging around the game. And like at first I didn't really like baseball. I was kind of afraid of the ball, but like once I like started to have a little bit of success, it was gone from there. I couldn't stop playing.
My story with baseball is basically the opposite. I wasn't scared of the ball like early on, and I was actually pretty good. My dad started me off playing too. His best friend growing up was Kirby Puckett, who played for the played in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But as I got older, getting closer to high school, the boys started throwing that ball fast. I was like, "Yep, so I'm gonna switch over to basketball." But yeah, baseball isn't really a sport that's dominated by a lot of black athletes. Do you feel? I don't know if pressure is the right word, but do you feel an added responsibility as a black baseball player?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's like I had a responsibility to play the game of baseball. Like for me, like I just play baseball to play it. Like I love it. Like it's just like it's the game that I love. But outside of baseball, like long term, like after I start putting like after I put my hang my cleats up and everything, I feel a responsibility to give back because like a lot of reason why like I am today and like the things that I know is because I had a lot of positive influences who people who look like me. And I've been given like the opportunities to go to different events and see people who look like me, like putting them on. They're not the normal people you look up to who are like the normal athlete, like Ken Griffey Jr. Like they're their front office executives, like putting together these massive events that like never that are unlike any other one for people for black kids to really get a chance to be seen by scouts and get some of the best instruction from former professional baseball players. That's really what kind of gave me the opportunity to be where I am today, and that's the responsibility that I feel to baseball. I want to be able to get that same thing to people who come after me.
I love that.
Mm,
I love
yeah.
that.
Well, you talked a little bit about it just now about giving back. What's some of the things you plan on doing and giving back?
So the biggest thing is there's a thing called the Reds Urban Youth Academy here in Cincinnati. It's like a $7 million facility that the Reds put together with Procter and Gamble back in 2013. And there's several other academies in the United States, and like just that building like itself, like obviously like the training facilities were like top tier, but also the people like in them really gave me the opportunity to grow and flourish. So long term, I look to help build other urban youth academies across the United States with different RBI programs because I know how good they can be for the community.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of me, like myself and a lot of my friends, like we wouldn't have went to college if it wasn't for like these outlets that we can go to and just like spend like all day in the gym learning about baseball, and also the other opportunities that they give us, such as like SAT training and like professional prep to learn how to carry ourselves like once we're off the field.
That's huge. That's huge. But we kind of talked about it already. But you were drafted out of high school. First of all, what was that feeling like? To be from Ohio and get drafted by the Reds out of high school.
It's still like unreal. Like when I got the call, I was just like, "Are you for real right now? Like you really calling me?" Because I wasn't really like expecting to. Like there are a few coaches said like, "Man, you might get drafted," and like I was just hearing it, but it wasn't really anything to like mind me. It wasn't really like on my radar. Like, I'm about to go play pro baseball. Like that wasn't like the thing that I'm doing. I play baseball because like it's what I love to do, and I'm good at it.
Yeah.
So when I got the call, it was like, dang, I can't really believe this is happening. And like after that, like I got like all the little stuff about like the deal and everything. And I didn't really give it too much thought. It was really like I was like, I gotta go to school for real, because I know if I don't, like if I go, I could play in a league for as long as I want to. At the end of the day, like I still need to have something to like fall back on. Like I can't just rely on my skills on the field like all day long for all my life. So I decided to go to school and decided to go to Morehouse, which was an even better decision. And like I never really looked back.
Definitely. That's crazy. I've always wondered. So baseball it's kind of different, of course, than a lot of sports. You can get drafted out of high school, of course. Still, you can't do that in the NBA or the NFL. But then also like the different tiers, like the farm teams, AA, all of that. But like, what is it like, to get drafted out of high school but still go to college? Like, are you still in communication with the team? Do you have to work out with them in your off season? What's that like? What's that relationship like?
So I was eligible for redraft. Like, so basically you have to go into like your junior year to have like any conversation or like anything with like a major league team, like again, and then you can get redrafted. So once you hit like your junior year, you can go again, kind of like it's in like other sports. But like I've had contact with them only because like a lot of like some of the people who I knew who were scouts, like I grew up around them, so I still talk to them, ask them like little tips, like, hey, can you take a look at this video for me? Like I'm like I feel like something's wrong with my swing. Can you point it out? Help me out with it in terms of that. But it hasn't been like, hey, like we're drafting you like this coming year.
Gotcha.
And what has that experience been like at Morehouse, man? You talking about one of the top, HBCUs, rich in culture. Martin Luther King went there. You know what I'm saying? So what's that been like, bro, for you?
It's been really different, honestly. Like I kind of really didn't even have a chance to be like much of a student athlete. I played my freshman year, did pretty well. Went in tandem with a senior, got a good amount of playing time. And then my sophomore year, I got injured. I had to get surgery. I tore my labrum. And then last year, I was like planning to come back, and then COVID struck. So this year will be my second year. So I got 3 more years, including this year eligibility. So I'm looking to go play elsewhere after this. But my experience at Morehouse has been it's been really life changing. Like even outside of baseball, like the people I've met, like my friends that I've made, it's been really just changing for me. I really couldn't see myself being able to grow in the same way that I have in the past, just because of like the people that I'm around. Even like the baseball team, like we constantly doing different service events. Like it's not just like, hey, like we gotta win some games. Like we gotta do something for the community as well. And then like being involved on campus with different organizations has also just given me a chance to just be successful and just learn that I'm more than a baseball player. I'm more than an athlete.
I love that. And those are the stories that excite me when college students or college athletes choose a school and they actually love it outside of just being on the field or court or track or whatever. But you said you don't think you would have been able to grow it as much as you have if you didn't go to Morehouse, and you've had a great experience. So I love that. That's super exciting for me to just hear.
Yeah, for sure. But what advice do you have, for the younger athletes who are looking, to follow your footsteps and then play baseball, at the collegiate and professional level?
The first thing is like keep your grades right, because you can't get on the field if your grades aren't in the right place. And the second thing is like put the work in. Like at the end of the day, like the only way you're gonna be able to get the opportunity to play at the next level is if you do what you got to do, like in your off time. So just like really make it a priority. Like you wake up in the morning, you're like, okay, like I got to get my homework done. I got to work out for baseball, and like keep it simple at that. Like if anything else comes in contact with that and you can fit it in there, like go ahead. But like really just stay focused on what it is that you want to do. So if you want to play collegiate baseball, like make sure you're putting yourself in a position to do, and that's taking care of your grades, taking care of your body, and reaching out to college scouts and coaches to like let them know like, hey, like I'm interested in your program. I'm interested in doing this. But also like don't like I said earlier, like I found out that I'm not just a baseball player. Like don't just put all your eggs in one basket when you get on campus. Like when you get on campus, be willing to try to get into different organizations such as like the student athlete advisory committee, which they really help like on campus for student athletes. That's a good thing to have on your resume, one. And also like you're with like-minded people rather than on the football team. Just all athletes kind of have like that same mentality, and we're all like you're trying to do service, or if it's some other if you're trying to get into a fraternity or whatever it is, just like be diverse in whatever it is you do, but do it hard.
That's a great point. And then to piggyback off that, how can student athletes, make the most out of their, opportunity both on and off the field?
In the season, I would say it's kind of hard to do things off the field. You're really like gonna be locked in with the team, but like in your off season, like don't be afraid to go try to join new clubs. Like I said, and then in the summers as well, if you're not, it's different for football players because they got camp, but like basketball players and baseball players and other sports, like don't be afraid to go try to get an internship. Like get that exposure to different industries, rather it's just like the financial industries, or you're even trying to crack into the sports industry, because a lot of getting into the sports industry is about the relationships you have. But if you don't have that exposure, like afterwards, like when you're coming to like your senior year of college, like it's gonna be hard for you to get opportunity where you want to actually get one, just because you haven't given yourself the chance to see something other than the court or the field that you're on.
Right.
Definitely start early. Start as early as possible as far as internships and building those connections in whatever industry you want to work in. I know that that's tough. Like everybody doesn't know what they want to do coming into college, but if you do, or if you have a interest in something, try it out. Reach out to people in that field and learn more about it. And that's also the perfect segue, because I did want to go into your internship with the MLB. how did that opportunity come about, and what was the experience like?
So being like an RBI kid, like I've always grown up around the people who like put on a lot of these different events. So my sophomore year, I planned on going to play baseball again back in California, but due to my injury, that I just wasn't able to. So I just started like reaching out to everyone I knew because I didn't want to go back home for the summer and just like sit there and do nothing. So I hit up everyone, whether if it was baseball related or not, and some of my old like mentors in the RBI program. I asked them if they had any opportunities available, and they sent me like the internship application. I filled it out, and then like a few weeks later, I feel like it was like a little a test drive for like my interview. They asked me to come speak at the RBI Institute, which is basically they have like all the different RBI organizations across the country come together and just talk about like the different goals that they have for like the up and coming years. They do it every 3 years, I believe. So I was a keynote speaker at that event, and I got to kind of rub elbows with a lot of people who were in the baseball and softball development department in New York, and they were really impressed with me. And they were like, "Hey, like we'd love to have you for the summer." And then that summer internship experience was just it was the best. Like it was a dream job for real, for real. It wasn't really a job at all. It was just like it was just baseball. Really, I was just doing the same thing that like people were doing for me. The same thing, like putting together different camps, like talking to parents, talking to kids on how to like navigate the like the college recruiting experience, and doing all those different type of things. So it wasn't really much of a job. It was like it was a dream, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's how I got that opportunity.
Yeah.
And you kind of talked about it a bit. You know, your goals after playing a sport. Is there a specific title that you're going for, or a certain position that you're looking for in baseball to work at?
I want to work in the baseball and softball development department where I interned at, just because I already know those people and like I know what they do, and that's exactly like that's perfect what I do. It works perfectly in line with building different academies across the United States, and I plan to use I plan to go to grad school and get a master's in real estate, and then also have I'm also majoring in finance now. So just using those skills to add value to that team. So that's really where I want to be, because they're doing exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
And well, go ahead, Jeremy. My bad.
No, I was gonna say I like how passionate he is about it, man. It's always great to see, us, to be able to find work, but not also be work. You know what I'm saying? Like you enjoying what you're doing. So that's always a great thing. Find passion in what you're doing. Yeah.
That's a big thing. Like how I'm just like living my life, and it's like my last semester in college. Like I'm not necessarily sure like exactly where I'm going to grad school yet. I'm putting all the steps in order to like get it together, but I'm just trying to like align the different goals and different blocks together to reach that final goal, and make sure like I'm just working as hard as I can to achieve that. And I'm happy with that. Honestly, I couldn't be happier with the state I'm in, even with coronavirus and everything. I just know that I'm doing what I got to do to get where I want to go.
Right.
That's been our mindset too. This entire pandemic. It's definitely a rough time for everyone, but just controlling the controllables in a way and doing what we can to, like you said, reach that goal at the end.
I like that, controlling controllables. That's something coaches always say to me, and it's applicable to baseball and like just real life. Just control what you control. Do what you got to do.
Exactly. Sure. Yeah. Go ahead, Bart. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say before we leave, is there a quote or a mantra that you live by that you would like to share with the listeners?
Yeah, there's actually one. I have a mentor. His name's like Amal. He says, "Do the way you do one thing is the way you do everything." Yeah. So when it comes to if you're gonna quit something, like you might quit something else. If you're gonna shortcut something, you might shortcut something else. So whatever it is that you're doing, like go hard, give it your all, and just do it with your heart. Put your heart in whatever it is you're doing. So that's something that's really been helping me through these last few months. Like even when it gets hard, when I'm tired of being in that house, I'm like, you know what? I just gotta go get up and I gotta go get this workout in, or even like the last 2 weeks of the semester, like I was like, I can't give up. I'm way too close to the end to miss up on one assignment and fail the class or something like that. So that's something I really like to live by.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And first, shout out to them all. I've been giving them shout outs for like 3-4 episodes in a row now. But shout out to them all that make a play. But now that's definitely great advice. I was this was a couple months ago. I was listening to a podcast that Kobe Bryant was on, and he was talking about the importance of like not self-negotiating. Like if you set your mind on doing this, right? Like I'm gonna work out three times a week. When you get up, you don't feel like doing it. Like you can't give yourself an opportunity to talk yourself out of it. If you set that goal, go ahead and do it. Because if you do get used to, self-negotiating, giving yourself a way out, eventually that's going to go into other, things, whether that's, family matters or professional things. So that's definitely great advice. How you do anything is how you do everything.